Hello, everyone. We'll be beginning today's session shortly. We're just waiting for more people to join. Thank you so much. Okay, we will be beginning our session in another 1 minute. So just want to, before we begin, just want to know that if everyone can hear me, you can just drop a thumbs up in the chat. Okay, great. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We are so excited to have you all with us today and for what promises to be an inspiring and insightful session. At Circle Health, we understand that life often gets, overwhelming with the demand of work, family, and endless responsibilities, leaving little time for self care. But today, we are here to remind you that your health is just as important, and sometimes all it takes is just 10 minutes to start making a difference. So, I'm thrilled to introduce today's speaker, Soumya. Her story is nothing short of incredible. Soumya is not only a marathon runner, but is also a strength conditioner and is also a mobility and yoga practitioner. But what makes her journey so relatable is that, like many of us, she too faced life's curveballs. So, Soumya's journey from feeling unfit to becoming a long distance runner is a testament to resilience and the power of commitment. So today she will be going to she's going to share with us her story along with practical tips on how to kickstart your own fitness journey no matter where you are in life. So if you have any questions, please ask at the end of the session. But let's give a warm welcome to Soumya for today's session.
Hey, thank you, Aditya. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm
Hello.
Soumya. Yeah,
मैम आपकी
welcome to
वॉइस नहीं
this
आ रही है.
session. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you, Soumya. Because everyone else able to hear her, please let
Yeah.
us know in the chat or thumbs up.
All right. Okay. Okay, good. Great. So, yeah, thank you for this platform. I'm just hoping, like, it will just change few lives' perception towards your well-being. That is the, very small expectation probably I can think about. So, I myself, Soumya, professionally, I'm an architect working in a um, global design firm, handling most complex projects throughout the world. I'm also a mother to a boy who is 8 year old. Like all of us, like I'm also like managing multiple roles. That is what my background. Um, so this is just to start with my journey. I was, if we can move to next slide, Aditya. Yeah, yeah. Before I start my journey, I would like to talk about a value moment. There is a famous saying from Sadhguru, and I strongly believe in this. So, if you want to take charge of your own destiny, the first step is to take charge of your own health and mind. That means body and mind. So that means we all have aspirations, goals in our life. But to achieve that, the very step we have to take is our own physical and mental well-being. So I learned it hard way uh, with whatever few years of journey, and then I strongly believe in that. So I thought we can start with this quote from Sadhguru. Um, just to the next slide, please. Yeah, to start with my journey. So I was a very normal, like healthy and fit person. Of course, I was into fitness way back then, uh, being a professional, and then even in my college days and also. I never had any issues until like motherhood came to my life. So I was like about 56 kgs because we often relate, well-being or health with respect to weight. So I'm just giving this parameter, but then please don't consider like, this is the ultimate measurement. No, but then I'm just, giving one parameter where it is measurable. So in about span of say 1.5 year, I was from say about 60 kgs, 56 to 60 kgs, my weight and then my body changed to 106 kgs. So you can see like, in the middle picture, that is me. The very first picture is before my pregnancy. And then the journey, like, at one point it started, and then now I'm the fittest in like so far my lifespan, I would say. So this is my journey, just to brief with. So as I said, like, I had hormonal issues. See, we all have some trigger point, like, it could be our work stress for somebody, and then, many other will have other uh, issues in terms of your health going worse. So for me, it was, post pregnancy, I had, hormonal imbalance, and then due to that, I was into stress eating, and I also had some, motherhood related issues like lactation and other things. So, and I was also probably a very ambitious mother who wanted to do best to my child. So probably that whole situation was very overwhelming, and then my health was not in place. So in no time, and I didn't even realize it. I was weighing 106 kg. It was just in one scenario, I just weighed myself, and then it was 100 plus, and then it really scared me. Uh, and when people would see me, they were not recognizing me. They could not relate. They were like, "Who is this?" Like, that was kind of um, reaction I would get. So I struggled like, for 3, 4 months with this new responsibility and then situations and then all this problems. At one point, one day, I thought something just like, inside me, like, okay, no matter what, whether I don't know what, but then I just have to take charge of my health. That is one thought just came internally, like within me. So then I just, it was very hot, sunny day. I remember very well around 12, yeah, 12 p.m. in the noon. I went for a walk. Like after like, 3, 4 months, I was probably like, I was not mobile. I was just stuck at home. And I just went for a walk and I really struggled. Like my breath was not in place and I could not even walk continuously for 5 minutes. Then I realized, like, what is the impact that has happened to my body. So it's like, even if I'm struggling to walk, it is not good for sure. So I realized it is high time for me to take charge of it. So that day was the, like, kind of, triggering point, you can say. So from that day, I was just doing whatever possible things I can do for myself. It could be like, mindful eating, just, going for walk, like achieving, say, 3,000 steps or 5,000 steps. So all this journey began there. It was in 2018, I would say. So I started this fitness journey with 10 minutes of just walk. And then when I was weighing 106 kgs, then from there I continued. It was lot of, ups and downs. There were good days, there were bad days, and then I was in a very I was not in a stable condition because my husband was serving in Indian Army. So we had like, transferable. He used to get transferred, and then we used to move to different cities. So it was too many challenges, but then I just kept at it. And now, I can proudly say I'm very proud of it. I'm a long distance runner we who strategically train for races and then participate, with a specific time goal. And I have a coach, and then, it is a very, very defined and then strategic kind of training. That's how uh, my journey is now. So then, all this, like, I also wanted to tell, all this has happened, like, unlike you all, with all the responsibility of being a professional, and then, other responsibility, like whatever you have, like family responsibilities, they were also in on my plate. So that's how my journey and then, my transformation happened. So now, just like, I believe giving back is what, your journey or your lessons uh, make it worth. So I do, like, wanted to give back on that intention. I write some content related to well-being on social media, and also I use it as an accountability. So that is another, passion, I would say, like I follow. And as Aditya was mentioning, I also do a lot of strength work and then yoga and mobility, because I learned, as I progressed in my fitness, all these parameters are very important. So I manage like 60 to 70 kilometers a week of running, and then 3 to 5 hours of other activities like yoga and then mobility work and then strength work. So yeah, this is my transformation journey, and then through this journey, I have benefited a lot in terms of, like, our my personal growth as a professional. I have achieved many things. One example is just, pursuing my graduation at peak of my career, like, after my motherhood, and then also I constantly upskill myself, in other things. and also other well-being, like my family well-being is in place, and then social well-being, they all are greater benefits. So this is my journey. Can we go to the next slide? So what I would wanted to share is uh, like whatever the some tools like which can be very helpful and relatable, and also some challenges and then how I overcome. So this will probably help others to relate and then adopt in your own situation. So uh, now I would like to talk about like some tools what help me, like because when we start something, we all get stuck. We don't know, like we wanted to start, we wanted to achieve, but then it's very important to identify, okay, we need certain tools to achieve something, like how we adopt in our workplace or like in other areas. So I identified these tools. So the very first tool, I would say, like, very first thing you should uh, think about is making yourself a priority. As I mentioned, if I would have not realized at that point of time, my health is not in place, and then I have to take charge of it, then probably like I would have not reached this fitness journey. So I realized, like, yeah, making my health as a priority, or myself, like how I was feeling as a priority, was the very first thing. The moment I felt that strongly, then I started working other parameters. So the very first thing for everybody to understand and then like make it strong willing that you have to make yourself a priority. Then once you make yourself a priority and you wanted to perform something for yourself, or you wanted to do something for yourself, you need to have a daily routine, so which is very important. So for example, you are willing to take, okay, you wanted to do some physical activities, or like some meditation or yoga. Like today I'm doing in the morning, and then tomorrow I'm doing it in the evening, because your routine is not like helping you, might hamper your consistency, or you cannot sustain. Rather, having a fixed routine, like from waking up, it can be as simple as getting up just 15-20 minutes early, or might be like giving that 20-30 minutes for yourself before going to bed. It could be anything, whatever works. So that fixed routine, including your meal time, sleeping time, waking up time, and then working hours, like making that 8 or 9 hours of yours efficiently, is what I call it as a routine. Because now we have a flexibility, we always tend to work on odd hours, like after our dinner we sit. So we should avoid that and then have a fixed routine. Then after that, you need to have a support system, because we all have responsibilities, especially women, like will have, and then men also will have in terms of financial, and then other things. So same as women, they have their own responsibility, and then it's very important to build a support system where you can give little time for yourself. For example, like at your home or workplace, like communicating that you need to go out, or like or do certain things and at certain time, or like having some help, like domestic help or something, to unload your certain like work, so that that time you can give it to yourself. Something as simple as that is your support system. And also like communicating to your family that yeah, your well-being is uh, important to you, and then you need to take that time for yourself. So in that, you need their support. So all this is support system. Once all this is in place, the consistency and discipline is another tool. Because you have the above, like tools in place, but if you are not consistent in your action, suppose in a week at least 3 days you should perform whatever you want, like you should go for a walk, or like you should do whatever you feel like. So then everything will align. Then the next tool what I identify is, especially when our health is in not in our hands, there is a lot of expectation from ourselves. For example, when I was weighing 106 kgs, all I wanted to achieve is I just wanted to go back to my old self, which was like impossible in short period of time because my body had drastically changed, and then in that process I did lot of mistakes, shortcuts. So rather than thinking like that, just having a very small goals like, okay, I just wanted to do 20 minutes walk just to feel good, or to just to take fresh hair, or something like that, like more, rather than getting validation, just to have small goals in terms of how you feel, or like how your body is improving, will help. That's what I learned. And then when eventually we are doing it, there are some byproducts that you automatically, your body and mind will get. Then also, like when you're not able to do things, it's okay to recover or like relax. So, for example, we start something, we get injured, or like we might fall sick. That time it is also important to take rest and then take that little pause. That is also another tool. And once you have like achieved certain things, probably this helped me a lot, having external mentors or coaches just to achieve your will. It can be anything, it can be your, like as Circle Health is doing something like that, like care managers, or your some fitness experts, or like dietitian. So because sometimes we get stuck and then there won't be results, so investing your could really help. After that, nutrition is the key. I also learned it like very late after lot of lessons. So nutrition is very, very important. Like, what you need to eat, how much we need to eat. So we are culturally on high calorie food habits. So I think to important to understand, the nutrition aspects of it as well, to have good benefits. So these are all the tools that really help me to achieve my well-being in terms of physical as well as mental. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Okay, and then of course, like when we are doing anything, there will be some challenges. I would also like to talk about it so that you all can relate and then probably adopt. So my challenges were, as I was mentioned, I had a very different situations at different point of time, and now also, like my days are not very it's not same, like it has its own challenges. So this is a bigger challenge, I would say. Each day is unique. Is like I have workload on one day very high, and then um, some days it's low, or like in terms of family responsibilities, demand. So this is like one of the challenge. So what this challenge, what is the solution I found is, like you just have to make best out of every day. For example, if you are stressed out in your work, just like prioritize your sleep over like workout, or give that time on finish the workload, and then probably like get back, take that little break. So that is like I would be talking here like what is the challenge that I faced, and then how I overcome. So that is what. And the second challenge was like often I used to lose motivation because I was moving to different cities for the whatever the reason I earlier mentioned. So whenever the transition used to happen, like the time to get settled and other things, I used to lack motivation. Once you have lack motivation, there is no consistency, and then again your journey will take a pause. So this happened to me, and it still happens. But then, what is the best solution I found is finding like if buddy where they have like same goal as your, or like, little same wavelength as yours, or finding a community within your surrounding can really help you to keep you motivated to move, or to take care of yourself. And then the third challenge I had is like, overtraining or like overdoing things. It's not only like physical, but then in terms of nutrition also. At one point, I used to deprive myself by not eating enough. And then I used to do lot of workouts, like, do 2 hours of gym a day, or like go for longer runs or something. So I was overdoing to just achieve my goals, which was not good at all. Like I suffered because of that, because I had injuries, and then, there were some other issues. So this is a very normal like tendency. But then what we should do is we just have to do balance, like, just start slow, take it easy, and then just keep it at it. Like even if you take pause, if some days if you are not able to do it, it's okay, you can just restart. So that balance is very important. Then comparison. So this is a triggering challenge, I would say. We always compare ourselves to others. Like, okay, she's doing good, or he's doing good. He's so fit, or he's financially well, or many parameters we compare ourselves. But then it's not at all good for ourselves. We should just compare ourselves like whatever we were. Like, if I'm doing good 2 3 weeks better in all aspects, whichever the aspect you have a goal, and if I'm doing even 1% or 0.5% better, I'm good. That's what I learned. Like, no comparison. My body is different. Might be I am doing well, but then it won't look the way it has to look, or somebody else is looking, or so. Not to compare yourself with anybody or your progress with anybody, but then just to yourself. Then, as I mentioned, deprivation, like, eating less because just doctor has told to lose your weight, or or doing lot of activities all of a sudden where you have lot of pains and niggles. So this is also no good. Rather, just as I said, like, nourish, and then just go what your mind says. If you feel like you don't want to do certain things, or like you don't want to push too hard, don't push. Just whatever you can, like, you can do that. Then stress eating, yeah, this is very common, especially now, because we all are in corporate world, and then stress is a very common thing for us. And stress eating is also like, byproduct of our work. So I often now also I face this, but what I learned is we should able to, like, manage whatever. If you have a situation, you are stressed out, and then you wanted to eat or crave something, probably control on your portion, or like probably, or try some tools to manage your stress. So this helps in stress eating, um, and then manage the stress effectively. Then the challenge I faced was often taking pause on, all, like in terms of training also and well-being also. So there are some days you don't want to do anything, and it's just like you just wanted to be lazy. So there are days in everybody's life, and I still face this. But what I learned is it's okay to take a break and then take a pause. If you have some situations, it's okay. But then restarting is very important. Suppose you take 1 week break from walking, or your diet plans or something, then just restart as soon as you can. So that will help. And like fear of injury, for example, if somebody is telling, I often experience this with all of my family members. If I tell my mother to just go for a walk, she would complain of knee pain, or have some niggle or something. and then you will just not do it. It is not a good thing. You should be able to identify, okay, whether it is just a niggle or like, actual injury, and then you should encourage your movement or training or whatever your goals are. So that is important. Okay, next slide, please. So these are the challenges and like I know some solution to the same. Now, okay, I have done all this. What is the benefit I have? I should like it is little lot of hard work, like throughout so many years. So here are my benefits. I would able to like I am almost consistent from say past 2 3 years in my everything, like say physical and then mental, um, because like I have some statistics where I track all my health and then other parameters. So I am consistent, which help me like to stay away from lot of lifestyle diseases. So you can all relate. We have lot of lifestyle diseases now, PCOD and then diabetes and then other. So I'm like very much away from it. And then I have a improved fitness age, which is that means my fitness age is just like 5 6 years of my actual age, which is great. Like that means my longevity is much larger. And of course, I'm like having a great self confidence. I'm very happy with my own body, which helps me in many aspects, like in professional platforms or other areas. It really helps me to be better. And then next slide, please. Other than like self benefits, you also have your social and family benefits. So because I'm healthy, and then I have a very positive mindset, so my family members, say like my husband or my son or my brothers, they all are also into fitness, and then they are also into taking care of themselves. Like you can see, because I'm a long distance runner, I go to a lot of races. So there are days like my brothers would participate in those races, where my family, we have participated in family runs also. So which is great, because now movement is lot of it has become like a forced parameter even for kids. For them to tell them to play is a lot of pressure. So, but it organically happens, which is definitely a greater benefit to family. Other than that, like I also have a social community where like-minded people connected, where your mental well-being and then lot of positivity on a daily basis is indulged. Like I get lot of positivity on daily basis because I'm going and meeting positive people. So that is another this thing. Other than that, because the fitness has made me so disciplined, I can probably achieve certain things I would have otherwise not achieved. For example, like as I said, upskilling myself in career, or like going and asking for bigger roles and opportunities, or demanding whatever I deserve. This kind of like the strong instinct inside are also in place, which is good for anybody. So yeah, this is what. And I also have like people would recognize me, like there is a larger identity other than like just being a mother or like professional. Even at my workplace or even at my family, they all recognize me as a runner, which is a very very pride thing for me. And even at my workplace, I had a opportunity to run with my global CEO, who is an amazing runner, and he's very fast. So I had an opportunity to run with him, which was like an amazing feeling. So there are this kind of very small, and then of course, like bigger benefits because of my fitness, and then my well-being, because I'm physically fit and I'm mentally doing amazing, which is benefiting me in all these areas. So yeah, that is about my journey. Next slide, please. So I just wanted to give a small tip. I'm sure like many would have been in your journey, is like fitness journey, or somebody wanted to start. So what I would suggest is like just to, as I mentioned earlier, start small. You can start. I believe movement is medicine, and then there is lot of content around it. Like movement is the key. So just to have this small goal for 1 month, you can start with like 20 minutes days of any activity. It could be walking or some yoga or like just dancing, whatever you like, and then have a small goal of achieving 5,000 steps, because we all go to work and 5,000 steps is easily achievable, like 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes post lunch or pre lunch, and then post work 10 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes would easily give 5,000 steps, and you eventually you can go to 10,000 steps. And probably like you can also try, if you are bored of just walking, you can try climbing up stairs up and down. Just like start with 2 or 3 floors, and then followed by probably 5 or 10 eventually over a month is a good start to start your fitness journey. So it's just a small tip. And yeah, that's it. I hope yeah, this helps some of you to take some motivation to start your journey, is what my expectation. Yeah. And any questions and answers needed? Yeah, you're most welcome.
Yeah, so there are a couple of questions in the chat. Shall I read them out?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, for someone who is new to fitness,
Yeah.
where would you recommend starting? And someone who is aware that they need to take charge, but maybe they
hmm
are like too lazy to take action. So, like, where do you recommend starting?
Uh, I would I would recommend them like to start with the routine, which is very important. For example, somebody wanted to start something, I would suggest like just by that time first. For example, you wanted to you go for say like as I said 5,000 walk. The first thing you need to work out is like the time. So you need to buy the time for yourself, and then everything will fall into place. I would suggest work on that followed by a small goal. Say like keep yourself 30 minutes of any activity of your choice. uh, there is no like rule of this is good, that is good. Whatever you enjoy is okay, but start small and then be consistent. When I say consistent, not like as odd as like being consistent all 7 days. No, it's okay, like 3 days a week is good to start. Then eventually you yourself will move to 4 or 5 days. So 30 minutes, 3 days a week is a good start, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, so I hope that answered the question. I'll read the next one.
Yeah.
So, like someone said, could you basically like explain how you achieved your goal and like basically like what worked for you is I think the person's question. Like
Okay.
what is the first thing that you saw like okay this is working for me?
Okay. So, as I said, I just went like, with my instinct. There is nothing that what I would say what worked for me was my perseverance. Okay. And then consistency is what worked. So, like recently, like, past 3 years, I perceived the running, like, as a core fitness sport. But otherwise when I started, when as I said, when I was 106 kgs, it is as simple as walk, as simple as run. And then when I was little bored of it, I tried like Zumba, dance. So there is nothing like, okay, this worked or that worked. It's just that what you enjoyed, like what I enjoyed at that point of time, is what was important. And then because I could enjoy, I was consistent. I used to look forward to doing that. So these two are important. And also the nutrition part of it. Like, your nutrition is everything. If you wanted to be fit, please focus on what is going in, you know, that is also important. So, this three, like, being consistent with some activities, whatever works at that point of time, and then mindful eating is what will do wonders. Keep it simple. There is not necessary to complicate it. Just whatever you enjoy, do it. But on a scientific note, the weight training has greater benefit, which I experienced from past 2 years. Strength training. If you really enjoy that, that would do wonders.
Okay, hope that answered your question. And now I'll just read one more question is there. Like how can one handle setbacks? Like for example, lack of motivation.
Yeah. Lack of motivation is very, very, very common. Uh, Accountability is one tool. Like as I said, have someone accountable. Like find a buddy, find that friend who wanted to have same goal and wavelength as yours. So because the moment you say to your friend, "Hey, I did, you know, 20 minutes run today or 20 minutes walk. Hey, I went to gym," then he feel like going, and vice versa. So when you lack motivation, or to keep your motivation on, either find a buddy or find some community around you, like some club or some running club or some gyms. Take a gym membership where you go. There are people who are positive, and then they come and train. You see them, and then little motivation is there. And sometimes if you are stressed out at work or something, and then that is like giving you sign that you need to take some rest or something, it's okay, let that phase go and then restart. But yeah, like buddy or community would probably like keep you motivated for longer. You can be consistent.
Okay, hope that answers your question. Does anybody else have any questions? Please feel free to raise your hands and unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can just drop it in chat.
Yeah.
We'll be taking some, maybe like couple more questions, and we can probably end the session. Okay, we have one more question.
Okay.
What advice would you give to new mothers like who are struggling with postpartum health issues?
Yeah. What I would suggest is you should not be hard on yourself, because it's a very, like it's a very new kind of scenario and responsibility. First thing is to not to be hard on yourself, and second thing is to make yourself priority, especially when being a new mother. Even I experienced, like, we take setback, like our health is not at all important. You always think about baby, baby, baby. So no, that perception is incorrect, I would say. You have to balance. You only when you are taking care of yourself, you can give best to your baby. So that mindset has to set strongly within us. So making yourself priority, not to be hard on yourself, is what I suggest. And then take it slow, like, because the body and mind and everything changes, and then postmortem depression is very, very common. If we are not taking small small steps, we would be like really in trouble. So just like make yourself priority, and then everything will be fine.
Okay, hope that answers your question. Any more questions, please? We'll take like we'll probably last questions. Like raise your hand, drop it in the chat. Okay. One more question is, how does meditation help in the case of fitness?
Okay. Honestly, I have not experienced so much. I'm still like, trying to adopt consistent meditation. But then I think meditation is like, the ultimate level of fitness, I would say, because that is the most difficult thing. With my experience, meditation helped me to have control on my actions and reactions. For example, earlier, if there is some conversation, I would respond to quickly, like my temperament was very high. Over the For me, like running is meditation, because I run for like hours without thinking anything. Like I don't even use music or anything. So that for me, that is meditation. So it really helped to control my emotions, and then largely to control my stress with respect to all, like, when there is family stress or work stress, definitely I handle better than before. So when you have this kind of benefits, it more on your mental health. Like I would not say physical fitness benefit, but then you handle better than your physical fitness, because handling stress is a lot of task, right? So meditation would help you like balance, all these aspects.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? I think that should be it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so much, Soumya. It was such
You're
a
most welcome.
wonderful session and so inspiring. And I think, like, the best part of it was how, relatable you are to like each and every one of us. So it really gives us inspiration to, work on ourselves. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day and, organizing this session and speaking, just letting us know how your experience went. It really, I think everyone related to it so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of your time, and thanks Aditya for supporting and then navigating this session. And I also thank Circle Health for bringing me to talk about my small fitness journey. I hope it helps some people probably to take that one step. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.